Hey guys, this is eHouse, and today we're going to be taking a look at the OneTigris Tactical Foldable Protective Mesh Half Face Mask. I think that's the complete name of it. That's a mouthful. I'm just going to call it the OneTigris Foldable Mesh Mask. So for here on in, OneTigris Foldable Mesh Mask. So what is it? This is a half face mask that is mesh in the front, but the foldable part comes in because on the sides here, you have this foldable floppy nylon material, and inside is a spacer mesh. And the idea is that while you get the hard protection over your nose and mouth where you really want it, you also get a bit of a softer, more giving surface on your cheek and your jaw area so that you can still get a proper cheek weld with a rifle. Full disclosure, I was sent this product to review by OneTigris themselves, and I warned the guy before he sent it, hey, I will be critical of this product. He sent it anyway, and his confidence is well placed. This is probably my new favorite half mesh face mask. It is really awesome, and let's talk about why. So I'm gonna put a picture up here, and as you can see, the mask does exactly what it says it'll do. It incorporates really well with a rifle, and you can get a good cheek weld, get down on the sights, and it works just as designed. The nose and mouth protection with the mesh is obviously still there, and it does work. I've been shot in the face a few times with this thing on, and my pearly whites are still intact. So yeah, it'll protect your face and it'll let you get a cheek weld, which is really, really handy, because if you've used a lot of other mesh masks in the past, then you know what a pain it can be getting a cheek weld, and this aims to solve that problem, and I think it does so quite admirably. I also have integrated on here the Brain Exploder ear protectors, which do work. I did not take them off for this video though, because getting them on and off is a real pain. These side loops here are really, really tight, which isn't a problem, but it's a consideration. I actually had to do a little dremeling on my Brain Exploder ear protectors to get them to totally fit with this face mask. And I only did that after using this mask a little bit, because then I had the confidence that, yeah, I'm gonna be running this a lot. But as you can also see from the pictures, the mesh mask does a really good job of incorporating with my helmet and goggle setup. I have it where I'm actually running the normal straps incorporated with the Brain Exploders under my helmet, just because my other method that I was using with my other mesh mask of having the bungees go through the Brain Exploders wouldn't let me tighten down the bungee enough, because by the time I got it to where the clip was right on here, this soft bit actually just made it where the mask would droop just slightly when I had it secured to the helmet that way. So I'm able to get it tighter and fitting more properly with this, but if you've got a smaller face, the Brain Exploders probably won't work, but this will definitely adjust down to any face size without the ear protectors. So this mask will fit just about any face. I've got a really big face, and you can see it fits really well, but you're gonna wanna make sure that you have a way to incorporate it with your helmet that works for the size of your face. In terms of the quality of the mask rather than just the performance, because as I just discussed, the mask performs exactly as it says it's going to, does what it says it's gonna do, and I really like it. As for the quality, I mean, the nylon and the spacer mesh here all seems very well done, very well made. There's nothing really coming loose or coming apart on it. The hemming on the mesh is very comfortable, and I don't find that it digs into my face at all when I'm wearing it. So, I mean, in terms of the quality for any of these mesh masks, this is definitely right near the top of the heap. I don't think I've used any mesh protective face mask that's been higher quality across the board than this one. So this one definitely gets a thumbs up in terms of the materials and craftsmanship. The straps for the mask are also quite nice, because unlike some of the other masks I've used where the straps are sort of stretchy but not really, these ones actually do have a very nice elastic give to them. So when I put the mask on, as you can see, I've got it cinched all the way down, but I do get that give so that I can have it cinched all the way down, but it's got that elasticity so that as I'm talking or moving, or if I want to pull the mask down a little bit to get to some water, it does have that give, and I really like that flexibility. And the sides being as giving as they are also helps if, again, if you're mid-game and you want to pull that mask to the side just a little bit to get a camelback hose through there, you can do that. So it's definitely a little bit more flexible than some of the other options that I've used just because of the nature of the way it's built, and I find that that's very helpful. So all those pros right on here, let's also talk about the price. This mask costs about $12.50. That's part of the reason why I'm not afraid to say, oh, you know, I'm gonna say if this mask sucks, if it sucks, even though they sent it to me, because I'm not gonna sell out over $12.50, but no, it really is worth the $12.50. I mean, if I'm evaluating it honestly, for $12.50, it's at least worth a shot. And for me, I think it's the best you can do for that mesh face protection for the price, because it does exactly what it says it's gonna do. Covers your face, lets you get a cheek weld, bam, awesome, love it. Cons, any cons of this mask? Like I said, there is a little bit of a drooping potential because you do have that flexibility here. So make sure that you run the mask tight, and you can run it tight enough for the shape of your face. If you are a very small person or you have a very, very small face, maybe this might not be the mask for you, but you can also modify it if need be. Or if you're really hoping to be able to incorporate this into a helmet, make sure you have a good bungee setup and you're not relying on incorporating it with ear protectors so that you can get that good tight fit, because there is droop potential just because of the way it's built. You can negate that by, again, making sure it's really tight, but it exists. I also have negated that by running the straps of my helmet over the sides, which you can do because it's flexible and it works. And what that does is it secures the mask very nicely in place, and I really like the way that that fits. So that's basically the one con I would say, is that you can't really fault it, but it does droop a little bit if you have it too loose. The other con is ear protection options. You're probably gonna wanna run separate ear protectors unless you're like me and you got a really big face, because these brain exploders are actually a little further back than they kind of should be. So I'm like right on the edge of whether or not these would fit with this. So ear protection options, you'll probably wanna run these with some over ear protection, or maybe get some of the Valken mesh ear protectors and zip tie them in place in a more appropriate position. But if you're just looking for a face mask, you really can't do better. And honestly, even though I just said those mean things about the way it incorporates with the brain exploders, still absolutely fantastic setup right here. And I'm gonna be running this a lot more in the future. So I guess that's about all I have to say about the OneTigris Tactical Foldable Half Mesh Face Protective Mask. It's awesome, does exactly what it says it's gonna do, and I would definitely recommend it, especially for the price. So if you're looking for a mesh mask or a face protection solution that still lets you get a good cheek weld and is gonna be tough enough and well built enough to be comfortable to wear and to be worn for long periods of time, this is my recommendation 100%. So anyways, this is E-House from Gun Gamers, signing off.